Hi guys, TiaDwana here and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been so long since I've uploaded a video, but I have learned a lot of good things and I cannot wait to share with you guys. In this video, I'm basically correcting a lot of mistakes that I made making this wig. You can see it just looks a mess. I have the band tied in the back because it was too big. It was hand sewn, so I had a lot of unraveling. The closure, the frontal just wasn't fitting correctly and it was unraveling. I made it like a lot of mistakes with this wig, and I made it so long ago. The frontal in some the places where it was overplucked. So I'm basically correcting everything that I made, the mistakes that I made. And what I'm doing is transferring this frontal here, which is a newly wig that I made. I'm basically using this frontal with the hair and the previous wig because it's more of a better quality hair than it on this frontal, and it's also longer. The wig that you saw before was, I believe, 24 inches straight hair. This one is a body wave and it's 16 inches. I only bought something cheap for Amazon just for my, the purpose of my wig class. But now I definitely want to use this frontal on the better hair. Whenever you make wigs using a closure and a frontal, you want to sew them on separately after your wig is made. And that is because if you ever need replacement of your frontal or closure, you can do so more quickly. So it was very easy for me to just cut the frontal out of the entire wig without cutting any of the tracks. And basically what I'm doing is transferring this frontal onto an entirely new cap. I'm going to be transferring the tracks on the previous wig that I showed you first onto this cap. And instead of hand sewing it, I'm gonna put it on the sewing machine. That way it's more secure. It's with a better frontal. So I don't have to worry about any unraveling. And I also, as I mentioned before, the wig was too big. I also measured this cap out to fit my head size. I typically use a 22, which is average. My head size is a 21, which is why it was so big. So I got me a 21 head block canvas. That way the wig can fit me more secure and I don't have to tie any more bands because that was just a mess. So here, nothing too fancy. I'm just basically just cutting the tracks off the previous wig, and I am going to just transfer them one by one actually onto the new wig. And I did do double wefts when sorry, I know it's blurry. I did do double wefts. And I'm going to keep it that way. First, I'm going to start with I'm going to sew the wefts together, which you'll see in this video. I'm not going to go too much into detail on this video because it's not really the purpose of the video, but you can see here I'm doubling the wefts before I transfer them onto the sewing machine. And as you can see here, I'm just transferring them onto the new cap and the new wig on my sewing machine. So as you can see here, the results of the sewing machine, it looks a lot neater. The stitching is a lot tighter, more secure. This was actually before I sewed the frontal on. I went ahead and cut layers in it because as I mentioned, the hair is 22 and 24 inches and the frontal is only 16. So just so everything flows together and doesn't look a mess, I just went ahead and cut layers in it. I went ahead and sewed the frontal on off camera. I think I have a video doing that, so I didn't need to include that in this video. So this is the final product of the wig. I actually washed it. I did a middle part and I let it dry that way. Here I'm going to go ahead and basically set the part and make it as flat as possible, which I actually just learned to do. So I'm using products by Nairobi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I use their sheer spray, and I also use their foam to set. Now with this method, you can also go in after you use the foam with a hot comb if you're in a rush. I'll probably do that in another video, but for here I just let it sit overnight because I really didn't, it wasn't an urgency for me to wear the wig. I actually have my spritz in this water bottle, which I'm using Spritz by Fantasia because it doesn't flake or harden. And I am using my toothbrush. I don't know where my other brush is. I have a little small brush that's a lot harder than that, but the toothbrush works as well, just as good. And I am just, again, I'm just setting the part, making sure everything is flat and neat. And I'm just using my wraps to mold it into place basically, and I let it sit overnight. If you have a dryer or a fan, you can definitely use that again if you're in a rush, or you can use your hot comb if you're in a rush, but again, I'm not. So I did this. You tie them as tight as you can, and then I just let it sit overnight. When cutting it off, you want to make sure you lift it up a little bit to where you can see. That way you're not cutting any of your hair or your lace. Just a little heads up there. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. I attached 2 videos of me wearing the wig, one with the middle part and one with the side part at the ends. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos on my channel and to subscribe. Thank you.